Welcome to World Code Updates, your daily source for global events and breaking stories. The news broke, sending shockwaves not just through the Philippines but across the entire Asian continent. It was like a thunderclap on a clear day, sudden, electrifying, and impossible to ignore. People stopped in their tracks, eyes glued to their screens, as the magnitude of the revelation began to sink in. Manila's secret weapon, massive oil reserve discovered in disputed waters, the headlines screamed. The story dominated every front page, every news broadcast, every conversation. For decades, the South China Sea, known locally as the West Philippine Sea, has been a flashpoint of tension and standoffs. Nations have clashed over fishing rights, shipping lanes, and territorial claims, with the Philippines often caught in the middle. But overnight, the narrative shifted from fishing rights to black gold, a discovery that could rewrite the nation's destiny. The potential wealth beneath those waves was staggering, promising to transform the country's economy and global standing. In Malacanang Palace, geologists and officials revealed seismic charts showing a vast reservoir of oil and gas, far exceeding expectations. The data was clear. This was no ordinary find, but a game-changer for the entire region. The secret, held for months as experts verified the discovery, was finally out. The world now knew what only a handful of insiders had suspected. The story spread like wildfire across international news networks. Within hours, it was the top story from Tokyo to New York, from London to Sydney. In Beijing and Washington, officials scrambled to assess the implications. Analysts pored over maps and reports, trying to predict how this discovery would shift the balance of power in the region. For the Philippines, this was more than a resource. It was a symbol of hope and national pride. The discovery ignited a sense of unity and possibility, as if the nation's fortunes had suddenly turned. Coffee shops in Makati buzzed with excitement. Strangers became friends as they discussed what this could mean for their future, their families, and their country. Out at sea, fishing boats in Palawan echoed with optimism. For generations, these waters had been a source of both livelihood and conflict. Now, they promised prosperity. After years of being overshadowed by larger powers, the Philippines now had a chance to stand taller. The discovery was a rallying point, inspiring hope in young and old alike. The world was watching, holding its breath to see what would happen next in these now incredibly valuable waters. Every move, every statement, was analyzed for clues about the future. A new chapter for the Philippines had begun, one filled with promise, uncertainty, and the eyes of the world upon it. The nation stood at the threshold of history, ready to shape its own destiny. This is not just another oil find. This is a discovery that could reshape the future of an entire region. For decades, the West Philippine Sea has been a flashpoint, a place where nations have clashed over invisible lines and untapped resources. But now, something tangible has emerged from beneath the waves. This is a geopolitical game-changer, one that will send ripples far beyond the Philippines' shores. The stakes have never been higher. The discovery sits squarely within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, a claim that was powerfully affirmed by the 2016 Hague ruling. This legal victory, once seen as symbolic, now has real-world consequences. Billions of barrels of oil now back the country's legal claims, turning what were once abstract arguments into a high-stakes reality. The sheer scale of these reserves could transform the nation's economy and its standing in the world. The Philippines shifts from being a persistent claimant, always fighting for recognition, to a resource-rich gatekeeper with something the world desperately needs. Suddenly, the world sees the West Philippine Sea not just as a contested zone, but as a future energy powerhouse. Global energy markets are watching closely, and investors are already taking notice. International powers will recalibrate their engagement, seeing Manila as a critical partner for regional stability and energy security. New alliances and rivalries may form as countries seek a stake in this emerging energy frontier. Energy self-sufficiency could make the Philippines more independent in its foreign policy, giving it the freedom to chart its own course and reduce reliance on foreign energy imports. The nation could move from being a chess piece in a larger game to a true player, fundamentally altering Southeast Asia's strategic landscape and influencing decisions across the region. The oil is more than a commodity. It's leverage, a catalyst for change, and a symbol of a new era for the Filipino people. It represents hope, opportunity, and the promise of a stronger, more independent nation. The world will be watching how the Philippines wields this newfound power, and the choices made now will echo for generations to come. To truly grasp the magnitude of this groundbreaking discovery, we must first look back at the Philippines' long and challenging history with energy dependence. For generations, the nation has struggled to secure enough energy to power its cities, industries, and homes, relying heavily on imported fuel to keep the lights on and the economy moving. This dependence has left the economy exposed and vulnerable, with every shift in global oil prices sending shockwaves through local markets and affecting the cost of living for millions. Each time oil prices surge, Filipino families are forced to tighten their belts, and small businesses face mounting utility bills that threaten their survival. But now, with the discovery of a new offshore oil reserve, there is real hope that these chains of dependence can finally be broken. Imagine a future where the Philippines not only meets its own energy needs, but also builds a robust domestic industry, creating jobs and expertise for generations to come. Lower energy costs would ripple through the economy, making electricity more affordable, reducing transportation expenses, and lowering the prices of everyday goods for everyone. Achieving energy independence isn't just about economics, it's about national pride and the ability to chart our own course without relying on foreign powers. With the Malampaya gas field nearing depletion, this new discovery could not have come at a more critical moment, offering a lifeline for the country's energy future. Transitioning from an importer to a potential exporter of energy would be nothing short of transformative, opening new doors for trade and economic growth. A stable and reliable energy supply will attract more investment in manufacturing, technology, and innovation, helping the Philippines compete on the global stage. Ultimately, true energy independence empowers the nation to make its own decisions, free from the pressures and uncertainties of global markets. This is more than just an energy breakthrough, it's a bold declaration that the Philippines is ready to seize control of its destiny and build a brighter, more secure future for all. The economic ripple effects could be revolutionary. Billions spent annually on fuel imports could now be redirected to healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Developing a domestic oil and gas industry would create thousands of high-paying jobs and stimulate ancillary industries. Foreign investment would pour in, funding not just oil rigs but upgrades to ports, roads, and communications. Government revenues from taxes and royalties could fund national projects in a sovereign wealth fund. A thriving energy sector would ignite national pride and optimism. The Philippines could become a destination for high-tech investment and industrial development. This is a catalyst to unlock the country's full economic potential. The oil find could place the Philippines firmly on the path to becoming one of Asia's next economic tigers. The oil discovery is a cause for celebration in Manila, but it casts a long shadow in Beijing. China's sweeping claims overlap directly with the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Beijing has a history of reacting aggressively to resource exploration by other states. The risks for the Philippines are immense. China's Navy and Coast Guard are the world's largest. Any confrontation could quickly escalate into a major international incident. The discovery threatens to set a precedent for other claimant nations, making the situation volatile. Manila must project strength and resolve, building international coalitions and reinforcing its legal claims. Successfully developing this treasure will require not just expertise but a masterclass in diplomacy and courage. In this geopolitical chess match, the Philippines cannot afford a misstep. The first layer, legal and diplomatic. Manila must champion the 2016 arbitral ruling at every international forum. By grounding its actions in law, the Philippines builds global support and moral high ground. The second layer, military and defense. The country must invest in smart, asymmetric strategies, coastal defense, surveillance, and deterrence. The goal isn't to win a war, but to make aggression costly for any adversary. The third layer, alliances. Strengthen security partnerships, especially with the US, Japan, and Australia. Joint patrols and intelligence sharing send a clear message to Beijing. These alliances act as a powerful deterrent. Finally, a robust public information campaign is essential. Unite the nation and win the narrative internationally. This battle will be won through legal acumen, defense, alliances, and strategic communication. Strategy is everything. As the Philippines eyes an economic boom, it faces a profound environmental responsibility. The West Philippine Sea is a global ecological treasure, home to vital coral reefs and marine life. Oil and gas must not come at the cost of this natural heritage. The government must enforce the highest environmental standards, state-of-the-art technology, rigorous impact assessments, and transparent oversight. The Philippines can set a global benchmark for responsible offshore development. Green practices can attract investment from environmentally conscious companies. A portion of oil revenue could fund marine conservation and restoration. True success means protecting both the nation's wealth beneath the seabed and the vibrant life within its waters. Harnessing this oil discovery demands monumental investment in infrastructure and people. The Philippines must build specialized ports, pipelines, refineries, and a support ecosystem for a world-class industry. But the most critical investment is in human capital. Universities and technical colleges must train a new generation of engineers, geologists, and technicians. By investing in Filipino talent, the benefits flow directly to citizens, not just foreign experts. Skills developed here will ripple across the economy, driving innovation in other sectors. This is a chance to build a knowledge-based economy on the foundation of oil. Prioritizing infrastructure and education ensures this discovery becomes a sustainable turning point for the nation. The oil discovery will redraw the map of alliances in the Indo-Pacific. Japan, South Korea, and other energy importers will see the Philippines as a vital new partner. Western powers will deepen security and economic ties, seeing Manila as key to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Philippines can leverage this to play a leadership role in ASEAN, offering energy security to neighbors. This could foster greater unity and a stronger collective voice on regional issues. The oil find gives the Philippines a chance to shape consensus, not just seek it. The horizon is filled with challenges and opportunities. This is a pivotal moment for bold vision and wise leadership. What happens next in the West Philippine Sea will define the Philippines' future and shape Asia's 21st century.